Anyway,
Yeah.
I'll just say again, to tell any longer, um, I'm part of Game Jam Africa, or the founder of it. And today we have Mwaaba Mugala from Zambia. He has Epic Studios, his gaming company. You should check that out as well. And today he will be doing this workshop and handling it. So there we go. No more interruptions this time.
Fingers crossed. Okay, so I'm pretty much just going to jump into it. The reason I chose this topic is because most game developers, when starting out, they kind of miss this step, the prototyping phase, which I think is very important because it really helps with getting your idea out there as fast as you can. So that's what we're going to be focused on today. I want to make this as simple as possible. So a prototype is a way of testing out your concepts without putting in too much time or effort. It's like a rough sketch, but a rough sketch in the engine that you're working with. So if you have Unreal or Unity or GameMaker, I don't know, whichever engine, you just kind of block out your ideas. Actually, that's what we're kind of focused on today, is just the blocking out phase, which is called white boxing or gray boxing, blue boxing, I don't know, whichever you call it. I prefer white boxing because it's easier to kind of get the idea out there. So a prototype is not just a mechanic idea, it's a sketch which focuses on the core gameplay mechanics that we're looking to implement. The main objectives of a prototype are to test whether the game mechanics work, and this is helpful, especially if you have a feedback loop, where you kind of test it as you create, as you block out your level. You test it to see if what you're trying to achieve is possible and if it makes sense. So yeah, so we're just going to focus on gray boxing, the concept of gray boxing and white boxing. That's actually what I probably should have called the tutorial. So gray boxing is a technique of blocking out the level with simple shapes to see if the design supports the gameplay before creating the final art assets for the level. Here's some examples of blocked out levels. So this is like a stage in which you get your idea straight from your sketch. You sketch your idea on the paper, and then you kind of just roughly block it out in your game engine to see if it works out, if your idea makes any sense, and you can kind of make changes as you are developing. So the many advantages of white boxing are it acts as a blueprint that serves as the basis for the completed level. It's a reference for game objects, props, and other scenes. This is good because, when you're starting out with the prototyping phase, you don't actually add any textures, you don't add any assets. You basically just, put shapes, simple shapes that will represent something in the game. For an example, a cube could represent a stone or something, Another advantage is the flexibility to iterate designs, adjust the basic shape of assets, and fix any issues before you go into the actual implementation of the development. So usually there's no programming. That's something that I'm avoiding for this tutorial. I just wanted to get the basic idea out there. So we're going to work on this simple game. It's a third-person stealth shooter. So the core concept is that the player is in a forest. He has to steal an ancient diamond of enlightenment and then escape the jungle. The player has the ability to hide from, kill the forest tribal guards, and the player finds power-ups that makes him faster. So this is just something I just quickly sketched. Yeah, so we're going to go into Unity now. If you have any questions, please ask if I'm fast or anything. So yeah, so this is our Unity interface, and we're going to quickly go to game object, 3D object. We're going to place a cube. Where's my cube? Okay, so there's my cube. And then we're going to set the transform, the scale probably, I don't know, 200. Is that too much? 200 by 100. 100 by 100. Yeah, so it kind of looks like this. This is going to be the base of our level based on what we're looking at here. So the idea is simple. What you want to do is just block out everything, every concept that you've drawn out on your paper, which is going to show how the final game will work, but not like the actual final game, because changes are very possible. So here, as we can see, it says, I don't know if you can see, but it says player. So we're just gonna put something that represents a player. We're gonna put a sphere. No, actually not a sphere. We're gonna put a capsule. Yeah.
Sorry, Mwaaba.
Yeah.
Can you just share your screen? I don't think people can see your screen, or can they?
Let's see. Oh. Can you see it now?
No, they can't see this. Oh, wait, just wait. So, well, it's kind of loading. Someone says yes, they can see your screen. Yes, we can see your screen now.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Cool.
good. So I'll just go back to the level design. This is like a simple drawing that I just did in like 5 minutes, just to get the whole concept out there. And yeah, so we're going to use this capsule. Okay, so I'll start again. So we went here to game object, created a 3D cube, which we then set the scale to 200 and the z-axis is 100. So this is going to be the base of our level. And then we have this capsule representing the player. And what's really cool about blocking out the level is you can kind of, you know, write. So I'm gonna call this guy player. And yeah, so I'm gonna change the color to yellow so we can know that this is the player. This is the level. So this is the point where we can just start blocking out based on what we have drawn here. So we're gonna first create an empty game object, which we're going to call environment. These are the blocks that are going to represent the environment. So from here, we can now start to create cubes. There's actually many ways of doing this. The best way would be to use a free tool in Unity called Pro Builder, but because of time, there's a lot of explaining that goes down into Pro Builder. But you know, if you're free, you can check it out. It's pretty amazing, and it actually does things faster once you learn how to use it. But for the purpose of this, I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. So we're just going to use everything that's found inside Unity. Okay, so we add another block here, and we're just going to scale it. We're going to use the scaling tool, which is over here. Just going to increase that. And this is going to act as sort of like a barrier. And we can Control D to duplicate that. And just, okay, I think I need to change the material here because it's going to clash. So if you can see this, there are two which are going to be part of the environment. We can Control D to duplicate these again and just extend them so that it forms the first part of this thing that we're creating. I don't even know what it is, but it's part of the level. And then we're going to have cylinders that are going to represent trees in this context, because we're not actually adding any assets. We're just kind of, you know, adding things that will represent their counterparts. So we're just gonna use this to represent a tree and put it into the environment a hierarchy here, and then we're just going to duplicate this. Control D to duplicate. Yeah, just simple, When you're actually adding the assets to the game, when everything is done, then you can mess around with these things, because the idea here is just to get a feel of how the environment is going to be. So we can select all these cylinders and actually rename them. We can rename them to trees. Rename them to trees, and we can set an icon. We'll put it as green because trees are green. And yeah, so these are going to be our trees. If you go close, you can see the trees there. And we're going to duplicate these trees and put them over to the left side, to the right side, and just kind of change how they are. Okay, so these are going to represent our trees. Then we have an enemy camp here, which we have to create, which we have to block out. So the enemy camp is basically just going to be like a fort. So yeah, so again, we create cube, place it down, and we're going to change the scaling because we want to make like a gate, not a gate, sorry, a fence, like a wall fence. So we're going to call this fence, and we're going to change the color to, yeah, blue. We're going to change the color to blue. So this is going to represent the enemy camp. I'm just going to change the scaling here, reduce that, because we just want to make like something surrounding. So increase the scale, Control D to duplicate, and yeah, we're just going to make something this simple. And then we're going to create another fence, 90 degrees, kind of put it there. And this doesn't have to be perfect, you know, it's just a rough sketch to get your idea out there. Yeah, so this is going to represent the enemy camp that we have here, and then the main part of the game, which is the diamond, going to be protected behind this gate that we're going to create here. So we can just create like a, and you can there are many ways you can do this, you know, it's all about preference, it's all about what makes you, you know, what works faster for you. So we're going to make like a simple gate like this. So this is basically like the most simplistic, yeah, level. Then we're just going to have, since according to our game document here, we say that the player has to steal an ancient diamond, and the diamond is kept right here behind the gate. So add a diamond. We're going to create a 3D object, and we're going to add a sphere, which is going to represent a diamond. Scale that a bit, and we're just going to put it here just to get an idea of where this diamond is going to be. Then we're going to rename this diamond and color it like that. Okay. So we have our diamond over here, we have our fence here, and this is the gate. So in order to get to this gate, the player has to get a key from this enemy camp, which is protected by the bad guys. So we're just gonna kind of create an entrance here, and we're gonna create some more not a sphere, sorry. We're gonna add a cylinders to represent the enemies. So I'm just gonna put these in the environment so that it's easy to have your work organized, and then we can kind of like decide how our enemies are gonna be placed throughout the game. So we're gonna have one protecting here, one protecting here. Okay, before I do that, I need to rename this enemies. And we're gonna color them red for danger, I guess. Yeah, so we know that these are the enemies. This is where the enemies are gonna be found. And yeah, so this is yeah. Oh, okay. So we need a key. We need a key because in order for the player to get to the ancient diamond, he has to get the key. So we have to add the key that these guys are protecting. So we're just gonna add it could be anything. Could be anything. I'm just gonna use a sphere, and it's just gonna be here. I'm gonna call this key yellow. Yeah. Key. So we're just gonna test this out, see how this works. See how this works. And again, like there's no programming exactly in this. There's no programming, as you can see, everything is like all over the place. This is where our player is going to be. He's gonna come over here. He's gonna see these guys protecting the key, which we have to get, and we have to open this gate, which is going to get us to this diamond. So this game could be anything. Could be a third-person shooter, could be a first-person shooter. The idea of this is just to kind of explore how your idea is going to work, how your idea is going to look out, how it's going to come out, how it's going to play, and if it achieves what it's meant to achieve. So I noticed that these are and extend them. Okay, so are there any questions so far? Questions? No. So yeah, and then we can, from here we can kind of add more fences to show where the level ends. Do this and just like scale it up so it fills up this whole part. And when your game, when you finally get past this stage, you can now decide to what you're going to use to, you know, to kind of represent these boundaries. Like, are you going to add bricks? Is it going to be rocks? Are there going to be more trees? And yeah, so we can just add more trees here just to show that our environment is probably going to be more diverse. And we can extend this. It's too much. this. Here we can add something that's going to represent the gate. Probably another cube. Probably another cube. Okay, so here it doesn't have to actually look like a gate, but so we're just gonna do this and call this gate. I'm gonna color it orange. So from this stage, you can basically now start to test the game. If you have a script, you can add, to the player. I didn't add any script because I wanted you to just get the basic idea of how this thing goes down. So you can add the script to the player, and then you can start to explore the world to see if it's scalable. And if it's too big, you can adjust some things. If it's too small, you can adjust some things. But the basic idea of prototyping is to get your idea out to sketch out your idea out as fast as possible, so that you can tell if the game is, works according to how you imagine it to work. And from here, if something doesn't work, you can adjust it, you can change things, you can, remove them, add, implement. And yeah, this is just a simple level. I don't know if there are any questions so far. Any questions? No questions. Yeah, so the idea of this was to make this as simple as possible, because ideas, blocking out phases can get as advanced as this or this. But it's always important to start small to get your idea out there, and when everything is running as you want it, then you can start to add textures, replace assets, add actual keys, add actual bad guys and all that stuff. And yeah, I think that's pretty much. This was meant to be a very quick tutorial, quick workshop. So if anyone has any questions. Okay, awesome. So yeah, thanks for coming. This was mostly to get you into the idea of gray boxing and its benefits, and how quick it really helps when it comes to game development. Like it's some people don't use it. Others just go straight into the whole process of development. But for me, I learned that this is the best way to get your idea out as fast as possible. It's a great way to show people your ideas. If you want to pitch a game, you can create a quick block out of your level to show the concept, and from then on you can just simply replace the assets with what they represent. Like here, you can add actual trees, you can add actual trees here, you can add a ground, grass, and yeah, based on the game that you wish to develop. So awesome. I see people are typing. Yeah, that's true. Modeling is one thing that I also agree with. Slows down a lot of development time. So prototyping is a great way to get your idea out there. If you do have a chance, please check out Pro Builder and Pro Grid, because it helps you like put everything on a grid and helps you what word am I looking for? It helps you put everything on a grid. It helps you scale everything better. There's also one tool called Blockout, which you should check out. It's free. If you use Unity. Very good with blocking out, because it has pre-rendered assets which can help. Yeah, so thank you to everyone who came, who attended this workshop. I actually didn't expect it to be this short, but I think if everyone is clear, if everyone understands why this is important, then we're good. I think it's important. So thank you so much. Awesome, Mundo.
Okay. Someone says they've. Okay, fine. I think it's sorted.
Okay.
Okay, so have you seen the questions that have recently been popping up? Because Chubo said Faith actually has network problem, and then Chubo was like, what slows down his 3D game development is the modeling. So he should spend more time prototyping to visualize better. And then Beko said that was quick. Thanks a lot. So basically, this is the feedback we got from the group. But this was really fast, like really, really, really fast. Like I wasn't expecting it to be this fast.
Yeah, because blocking out is all about doing. It's a rough sketch. You have to do things. You just roughly block out your level, and it's usually 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Before you can actually start testing your game. So yeah.
Yeah, and there was also a comment from Ralph, and he said we should check out what? What should we check out?
Oh yeah. So there's Pro Builder, and Pro Grid. Pro Builder is good for prototyping. I think it means prototype builder. It's free on the asset store, and it has all the tools you need for prototyping. Like if you want to make stairs, if you want to model houses, you can pretty much do that in Pro Builder. It has a bit of a learning curve, but once you do that, once you learn it,
Yeah,
it's the best tool. So Pro Builder and Blockout. There's a tool called Blockout.
yeah. Okay, so for the people that showed up today, can you guys just like send me your names and details? Because I have to prepare the certificate for this as well, along with Mwaaba, because Mwaaba has to like, this was carried out by Mwaaba basically. So I'll need everyone's names to just have certificates ready and send them to you guys. Yeah.
Awesome.
Anything you want to add, Mwaaba? Because I see people are still typing and they have more questions.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the questions. Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So I'll post.
Let's just post the links on Slack.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anything further you want to add? Because from my side, I'll add and say that I love this workshop. It's it's similar to mine that we had, to similar to the one you and I had, or similar to mine where it was just fast. So yours was extremely fast too. And I think people got straight to the point, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I really wanted to get straight to it. And if people have understood, then I'm happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, I want to thank everyone, the 7 people that came, or how many we were that were part of this workshop, to just attending. You know, in the future, our workshops will probably be more. You know, as we will grow and see this to go further. And I'd like to thank Mwaaba for just sharing this workshop. And you guys should check out some of Mwaba's work. You know, I kind of did check out this week some of his work, and it was just insanely. It was just good. You know, so you should do that. So yeah, so I don't know. I don't have anything much further to add. Anyone else has anything to add?
So I'm currently working.
People also asked. Janet asked where we can check out your work. Might you want to break the ice?
Yeah, I will probably send it
Share on Slack.
Yeah, I'll share it on Slack because I'm working on a game called Project Lumpa. It's a psychological horror game, and that's what I'm working on now. So I will share details on that on Slack.
Okay, so thanks for the call, guys. I'll be exiting now. Have a nice day, and see you guys in the next workshop. We promise to post the next workshop in the group once it's ready.
Great. Have a nice night, guys. Good.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.